He said you're part of
back
OTV
up here
problem.
Yes, sir.
Why are there apples on the mic?
Bust Insider might have gotten hungry.
Why do I have the option of... Why is this open? Why can I see my own profile?
Well, what a pathetic looking room this is.
Yep.
What the fuck did I leave this to you for, Mac and Lane? Huh?
Well, what the fuck you think the cause of this empty room is me?
I think it's your fucking cologne. And you smell like yesterday's cougar you got drunk with and took home last night.
Wait, you said they were closed. You said they were closed. How could I do that?
It's not.
All right, motherfuckers, listen up. Shit's about to change. I'm about to turn y'all into a fucking unit. I'm gonna make Croc grow some goddamn hair. I'm flying him to Turkey tomorrow.
So I've already been trying to do that. Yes, sir.
I am gonna get you transplanted, son. I know a guy.
I imagine my hair just gets worse.
I need y'all to listen to me and listen close.
Yeah, Dumpy,
we're going to turn this shift into a unit. We're going to turn this into a unit that people want to show up and be part of, which means a couple things. To have fun, sometimes you need to have your shit together. To go out and enjoy your job, the people next to you somehow have to, at least in some semblance, have their shit together. I love having fun. I'm going to have a lot of fun with you, Tubby.
Oh, 10-4 there, bud.
See, the reality is here, ladies and gentlemen, is that we've got a problem of incompetence landing us in a lot of problems and making this a miserable experience for a lot of officers. And that's my take. It comes down to a lack of training, a lack of execution. There used to be a time when this place used to be a fucking well-oiled machine.
Sounds like me back in my day, BBMC.
You wouldn't catch any of your bitch asses back a year and a half ago having to ram people in the ass, up a hill, at a mill, while on pills. None of that shit used to happen because we used to be a fucking unit. We used to be good. We used to have parallels. We used to have proper communications calling secondaries, tertiaries. It was religion here, ladies and gentlemen. This was the scariest motherfucking department on chases. And it wasn't because any of y'all could drive. God fucking knows it wasn't. It's because you were at the right place at the right time, which is 99 fucking % of police work. The right place, the right time, on time. This can be a fucking wonderful job. A goddamn wonderful one. You got to get your shit together. All of us. That includes command. I'm looking at you, Mac. I'm looking at you, Lane. Anyone else here considers themselves command? I imagine it's everyone because you're all out there in a circle. That means everyone gets their shit together.
This is good.
It don't mean this got to be fucking Fort Knox up in this bitch. But it means when you go on the radio, it should be a pleasant experience. You should feel like we're one unit, one team, driven towards a goal. And then from there, we can have a lot of fun. From there, we start doing things right. People aren't breathing down our necks trying to murk us in an alleyway. People aren't on their 10th car swap because we've been effective in limiting their ability to do that by the positions we've put ourselves into. I ain't here to scold you. But I am here to tell you that the pin is dropped. Shit's changing. I don't give a fuck who cares. We are going to train you. We're going to give you the resources. I'm taking the time to make sure y'all get trained. I'm going to take the time to make sure that we got officers with a goddamn personality that want to come here and do the work and not just come here and jerk off in the fucking corner while someone else is doing all the work for them. I know. Whoever gasped, I know. It's a sad day for you. I'll get you eventually. But with that, I'm also going to make things a lot easier. I'm going to raise the pay of police officers here so that you can have a life outside of just the badge, that you can enjoy coming to work. I'm going to put you on par with people that are out working normal, regular jobs because that's what's fair. And you're not. You're underpaid, which might be part of the problem. But with that higher pay and that comes responsibility. Meaning I'm not going to have so much forgiveness in my heart for people who just don't get it. That's not a threat either. There's just a base level of personality, communication skills, and ability to read the fucking room that's required to do this job. And when you have a lot of people that don't meet those 3 requirements, you know what ends up happening? This room. Look around. This room fucking happens.
Sorry I'm late.
Shut the fuck up, Tinker. I'm speaking. This room happens, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the thing you need to realize. Morale's a thing.
Yo,
and you don't got morale if people are on their own fucking programs 100% of the time. Now, a lot of empty words, right? Well, following empty words got to come action. So they become full again. So here's the thing. I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be taking some of you out. I'm going to be here, active. I'm going to try to be here every evening. Every single one. To be accessible, to see what the fuck you're going through every night. We're going to make the changes we got to make. I want to be clear. I want to make you effective. Well, what becoming effective means is when you have the tools and the ability to get these criminals, you got to stop being so fucking punitive. I know there's people in here that match that fucking description. If we get better, we got to realize that you don't got the criminal that got away 15 times anymore. You're probably going to get the criminals that gotten away 5 times or 3 times or no times. And you have to adjust. You all understand?
So yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I will be scheduling a number of trainings and fun times for us to do all sorts of stuff. Some of the things that have been missing here are actual tactical trainings. The ability for us to actually go and do team versus team. To actually practice out there execution of the things we've taught you from Academy.
Oh.
Because this PD is lacking a big picture. And that's what we need, is someone who wants to draw that big picture. I will do that for now. Until someone else starts drawing that big fucking picture. And then I'm Audi 500. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
Be firm.
Yes, sir, Commissioner.
This isn't a knock on Knox or Mac or Lane. I love those motherfuckers. But what this is that someone needs to come and drop the fucking hammer. That's what I'm here to do. So you with me or you not with me?
So
because if you're not with me, the fucking door's over there and I won't look down on you at all.
Sir, yes,
But the door's there.
Yeah,
sir,
we're with you.
yes, Sir. Sir, yes, sir.
If you want to
I'm
walk
with you.
out, here's what I'll do. I'll give you $20,000 to start your new life. And I'll give you a security company. I'll hook you up a new job wherever you want to go. You want to do a new business with a bunch of officers? I'll help you out if this ain't for you. But every time I give this speech, the door is there. And that offer is there. You understand?
Sir, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to give it 30 seconds of silence for you to contemplate that and walk out. And I'll meet you outside if you want to go.
Does the $20,000 come with health insurance?
We're in America, Croc.
We don't get health insurance.
Does it come with dental insurance?
Commissioner? Sir?
Does it come with a company car? So these are important questions. I need to know my next decision very carefully.
No, you do not get a company car. You get $20,000, you might get a business.
Oh,
Is it a food business?
I am a gambling man.
Only if it's
whatever
you,
you want it
Croc.
to be.
Then you get Vegemite. You get a Vegemite truck.
So I'm from Ohio. Can't you tell from my very thick Ohioan accent?
Nope.
Damn.
All right, that's 30 seconds. Now, I'm sure these guys want to talk about the raid, wax poetic about that, but today's about new beginnings, motherfuckers. boots on the ground, out. And we used to have a motto here at these meetings. We don't walk, we run. Yeah!
Sir,
So
yes,
fucking
sir.
run.
Sir, yes, sir.
I'll be getting out there in a little bit with y'all.
If you need another blow in, Sarah, Barry will do whatever the job needs, Sarah.
Barry, you're my number one blower. Don't you worry, son. You're at the top of my contact list. Barry Blower.
Yes.
What do you need done, sir, so we can improve this police department for the better?
Chief badge.
We need a lot of things. We need to start with trainings on chases. We need to do regular routine trainings on breaching, on rolling conflict, on attacking points of just kill zones, basically, and how to handle that in a right way that is professional and correct. But we do none of those things ever. Am I wrong? When's the last time you guys have done any of those?
You are correct, sir.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I think the last tactical training was done by McLean, and that was like over a month, maybe
McLean.
2 ago.
Yeah, it was about a month ago.
And these things are fun for police too, and they're good. And that's why we need to do them, is because not only does it make them better and more effective, it also shows them the correct way to do it. And it shows them edge cases that we, as like experienced police officers, have seen and how to correctly handle those so that we don't get fucked. Both from a legal standpoint and from a reading the room standpoint. You get me?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I used to dress up like one of the many criminals around and, for lack of a better words, absolutely farm our police officers in those trainings. And it prepared them. And that's what we need to start doing.
Yep, situational awareness. He would do a whole thing where he would hold them up and catch them with their pants down. It was
This
crazy.
just made Cassidy look more buff.
Yeah. Pretty much. You give them the worst fucking experience they're ever going to experience out on the streets, and you prepare them for those worst experiences. And if they can handle that, they can handle anything. I used to have people shout at me at the top of their lungs, Croc. And that's how I knew they weren't cut out. That's the type of shit we got to do. And the chase stuff, we have to put them in routines of chase and being like, you're doing it wrong. Here's how to do it. You're doing it wrong. Here's how to do it. And we have to coach people live. We got a real cupcake culture up in this bitch now. There's no room for that because look at the criminals. They ain't going to cupcake you, are they? When's the last time y'all got cupcake? Got the cupcake experience from the fucking criminals?
Never, sir. I was chasing Bang Bang the other day. They swapped cars 11 times and they all got away.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yep. Well, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the cupcake experience from when's the last time you arrested a criminal and they're like, oh, you did this thing to me and I really didn't like it.
Oh, every
How
day.
often does that happen?
Oh, yeah, no.
I'm pretty sure Croc had someone phase up on him the other day.
Shut the fuck up, Tinker.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Tinker.
You shut the fuck up, Croc.
Yes, sir. Well, you still lieutenant?
I'm not
Don't
your
you
boss.
talk to
No,
my
Sergeant.
sergeant like that, Sergeant.
Yeah, Sergeant.
Beat his
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah,
The
Sergeant.
reality is here, when our cops fuck up, our criminals aren't bringing them into the office, calling them calmly in MRPD and having a nice dialogue with them for an hour and a half.
Yeah,
That's not happening
egregious.
on the street. So all you're doing is setting the police up for failure. When we make a cupcake culture like we have here, of
My cupcake?
everyone needs to be coddled, taken by the hand, and brought gingerly into the office for a cordial conversation, all you're doing is setting them up with the wrong expectation because no criminal in fucking Los Angeles is going to treat them that way. There are real consequences for the shit that we do every single day, every
Is this
hour
Croc's
of the day,
office?
every minute that we're
Is
out there in
Croc's
the field.
office returned?
For these officers besides us and for the civilians out there. And for us to have to go and be so afraid to do gentle corrections on our officers, whether it's on the radio
Chaos
or whether
Fox
it's in the
links. There you
field
go, man. Thanks
or
for the 3
just off
months.
to the side on the field, that's a major problem here. I don't know where that culture's crept in, but it ends today. We can correct people on the radio. If it's a bigger thing, we don't want to get in a shouting match with people on the radio, but people need to be able to take fucking criticism in a police department. That is like number one, the thing we should be testing for is people's ability to take minor criticism. That should not be a big deal. And that's been a thing that's creeped here over a year, and it's gross, if you want my honest opinion. How can we expect cops to take any criticism at all or be prepared for what's out there if we can't even give it to them ourselves? Am I wrong? Anyone here can say I'm wrong, by the way.
No, you're right. No, you're right.
Yeah,
My
no,
silence is me
100% right,
accepting your
sir.
speech, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
And it happens
You're
very
wrong.
quickly. As soon as you start making corrections or bring a different like approach to the situation, people just conform very quickly with it.
May I give my opinion on this?
Yeah.
I feel like that there's so many different expectations on when people get corrected. What I mean by that is you have Officer A that'll say, hey, you should only shoot here, or you should only do this and that at this point. And then Officer B will go and correct them and completely contradict Officer A, despite being the same rank. This happens silently. We don't acknowledge it. And often I go up to people and I say, why are you doing this? I got taught by this guy, by a cop a long time ago. I don't remember. Or I'll be named another corporal, sergeant, or a senior officer, or an officer below their rank, correcting them on how to do their job. I also found many inconsistencies with training, such as people not knowing how to take weapon licenses, but are sergeants, is what I found. And I believe that the core root of the problem not only comes from correcting people inconsistently, but training them inconsistently as well. The way that people are marked off as fit, to me, you got to be able to prove you could do it 3 times over and do it perfectly. To some guys, you go into one chase, speak on the radio somewhat good enough, you pass the FTO
sign you
program.
off.
You get signed
Yeah.
off. And that's the issue. That brings the
I agree.
inconsistencies. And so the people who's doing the teaching need teaching themselves. And we're way too lax on it.
100% agree with that.
Yeah, I think FTOs
We
are the
just have
cupcakes
to
sometimes.
blatantly correct people and say, this is fucking stupid. Why are we doing that?
I agree. But what if my definition of what is blatantly stupid is opposite to your definition? Not saying it is, but in this case is silently behind all of our backs, officers are educating other officers with the incorrect definition of what is correct, and we don't realize this has happened until that officer makes that mistake in the field, and then we have to correct the correct again. It's a never-ending ping pong
Back in the
game.
day, we used to.
Well, we used to demote, fire,
Yes,
put that person out of cadet. Like, that is actually what has to happen.
Yeah,
And we have to not
that's-
just talk about it. It has to get fucking done.
we need to also
can't be a
correct whoever
fucking-
they say taught them that as well.
And it got to stop being a kumbaya circle for 2 fucking weeks when people are a problem. They need to be dealt with. You are not helping anyone by just delaying their punishment because they are doing the same thing over and over again. Criminals get pissed with them. Other police officers get pissed with them. Civilians get pissed with them. And then by the time we end up being able to deal with it, guess what? That person is not redeemable anymore because they have to be fired because everyone's pissed with them. Our command staff and our NCOs are failing the police officers and fellow NCOs and officers in our PD every fucking time they do this. And it happens all the time. If you aren't coaching people or telling people, they're never going to learn. And it's unfair because you've set them up for absolute failure.
Well, Tinker, they're not here to be friends. They're here to do a job, and they need to do it right.
I agree. I agree.
I mean, the PD isn't for the
telling the
soft skin.
sheriff
Unfortunately, like, you need a thick skin.
Yeah.
And if not, we need to teach people. We need to help them develop one.
I'm not your
Because if
friend, I'm your
like,
coworker.
You're not going to make it.
Exactly. I think people
No, you
just
can
want to
be both. You can be your friend and a coworker,
I think
and
people are
also
just
do your
afraid,
job. And
though. They're afraid to do
Coworker
that.
first. I'm a friend
yeah,
when we're off duty.
Tinker, yeah, they're afraid. You know why they're afraid? Because somehow we've made a culture at our PD where we are completely ineffective at giving in any discipline, and then while simultaneously making everyone afraid. Explain to me how that fucking works.
It doesn't.
How do you check both of those boxes? Those 2 boxes shouldn't check at the same time.
Yeah.
It's because
Because
we're
they-
gun shy.
Yeah. It's 'cause
People
the
are afraid of an
incompetence in
hour-long
letting it-
conversation. That's the problem.
100%.
Did you know what they'll be less afraid of? If they get told they're doing something wrong and to fuck off, and then it's over with, instead of it being an hour and a half to 3 hour long conversation and then them getting fired because we didn't do anything about it when it happened.
And then they overcorrect, so it causes fear because they see something huge
Exactly.
happening over something small. But the reality is, it's a lot of small things built up instead of dressed up. They did
Listen,
one at a
people
time.
are scared of me at the beginning until they get to know me. And that's the thing always. People are always scared of me at the beginning. They're terrified of me. But most people end up realizing someone that deals with things the way I do or the way I'm asking you guys to deal with them, they realize very quickly that you are their friend because you're dealing with them that way.
Why does it look like his
They
hair
realize that it's not
is
personal
crashing
at all.
into
It
a
is not an
war?
attack on them
Like
at
his
all.
hair looks like it's crashing into a war
When that
and
becomes
like folding
accepted in our
up like
culture,
that.
PD, our
That's
lives
his
get
hair.
easier.
Do
And
you see
everyone
it?
knows that when I yell at someone at 1 p.m. on a Saturday, that at 2 p.m. on that same
It
Saturday,
looks like a car
when we're sat in
crash
the
crashing
same
into a
circle,
wall.
we put our clothes on the same way when we started that day. Does that make
It's all
sense?
thumbs.
Yeah, 100%.
You got to build the culture. People are going to be piss babies over this at the beginning, but I want you saw this fucking meeting. Does that look like the PD we had 3 months ago?
No, sir.
No.
We could lose all of them, and it really wouldn't be much of a difference. To be honest with you, the difference between having those officers on duty and none in rebuilding right now is like not very different. I think you guys need to understand and look at that.
Yeah.
Not that they're not worth it. I'm not saying that. I want to be really clear. The point I'm kind of making is if we piss off the 3 of those officers, it would be better to do that and get things right and fill this room again. Because right now it ain't filling. And there's a reason for that. This shift sucks. And please, if I'm wrong, like, you guys need to push back on me. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay for a difference of opinion.
I mean, me, if I had any pushback on this, I would, but you're right on everything.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
I think there's a little more context to it all, but I don't have anything prepared that I could make those counters.
I think the frustration
Say-
that... Sorry, go on, my bad.
I was gonna say, I think some of it is the city kind of feels dead after 9:30, 10 o'clock at night on the Eastern time zone. And we can push people to be more interactive with the community. We can give them more things to do. I think that that's part of the problem. I think another part of the problem is we want to make sure that we're training these people correctly. We need to slow down our intake of people because I think part of the problem is people feel like they need to push people through quicker, and they're doing a disservice by pushing them through quicker.
How much activity is actually happening? So, interesting point, Pac, and I hear you. But that same problem actually plagues more the morning shift that Bustin's a part of, but then we have a bustling officer corps. So I would argue that the problem more so starts here, because if Bustin and those guys can make that atmosphere, that same atmosphere can be made here. We can do this and make PD fun. We can have fun together.
I think the most frustrating part... I think
We
the
can
most...
enjoy each other.
I think the most frustrating part that I think affects me and affects other people is definitely officers who don't value or respect other people's time and effort into warrants, reports, or arrests or investigations. You'll see, I get frustrated when PD has put in the effort of over an hour chasing some guy, getting an arrest, searching them, stripping them of their weapons, just to get to the hospital for some dumb fuck cadet to just drive through the front door, let them walk in, and then tell them very nicely to please stop walking to the guy with the gun who's going to put you into the car and drive away, and then go, uh-oh, I lost him. Whoops, didn't think that was going to happen. Or as for me, I had 3 warrants on 3 high individuals, and what absolutely ticked me off, sir, is other officers interfering with those warrants when it was unnecessary and either dropping them, letting them go scot-free, or changing the charges without at least communicating to me once. I think it's relying on other officers and their stupidity letting me down has been the #1 reason to why I've been inactive this month. And I've made no effort to fix it, and I know that that makes me part of the problem because I was suffering in silence. But I think these officers who are not being trained correctly...
I find it hard to believe you do anything in silence, Brock.
That's a good point, sir. That's a good point. What I mean is, when I say suffer in silence is, I suffered, I talked about it, I proposed no solution to fix it, is what I'm trying to gather at, sir. But that's just my.
I know where that problem comes from. That problem comes from people not wanting to be overbearing, but then we're asking them to tighten up. You know what I mean? So that it's kind of like they don't know where that middle ground is.
It's not about them tightening up. It's about them being effective. I think you need to understand that is the difference. We don't need stiff fucking cardboard cops. We don't need that. The problem is whatever method we're using, that is what people are receiving the message as. That is not what we need. When it comes to processing should not be something. Listen, one example you gave there, Croc. Let's go to the problem of the cops going. They might be reading that room, right? We don't know that. Out in the field, sometimes they might be reading the room in front of them. We can't really. If we get mad at them for that, we're going to get another problem. But there are times where people are just being fucking stupid, and that's different. And they're not reading the whole room at all. That's a different problem. On the processing, that shit people should never be touching that shit. Belonging to another officer. They just shouldn't. Unless, here's the problem we're dealing with, is you get Bird coming in, right, with Barry, and they're fucking around with people, and then they bring in the perp from like a fuck around situation, and then Croc's got a warrant for fucking 15,000 months. That's where we have the fucking problem right now, is right there.
Do you believe we could live in a world where PD can have both the Berries and the Crocs without simultaneously crossing those worlds over and fucking up an arrest? Because I don't know the solution to that problem.
We need officers to recognize when there's a Berry and a Bird bringing someone in that they need, it's a different scenario than when there's a Croc,
I do agree. I do agree with that. And I'm completely for that. I want to make it clear. I want Barry and Bird and those types of personalities here in this police department. I think it's good to have, and I would never want them removed. I don't think we need more or less of those type of police officers. But my question is, let's say we have Mr. Kebun. He gets arrested. It's over some fuck shit. There's nothing too crazy. It's a read the room situation. It's Barry and Bird. You're looking at, say, 50 months in prison. It ain't anything crazy, It's a fuck around, find out he was doing silly things, he's getting a silly arrest. But a very unsilly warrant and a very unsilly investigation that has taken a lot of work and taken a lot of investigation that has led to a warrant that, let's say, Mr. Kebun unfortunately did not know about and then went into the cells, and this warrant is for 500 months or hold on till trial, whatever the fuck it is, and it's a lot of work. What should Barry and Bird do in that position? Because I would like to see it from your perspective.
I think we should introduce jurisdiction, meaning that the jurisdiction of a ranger's arrest leads to them processing in the bush for things like that. That's what I think should happen.
That's what we do anyway. Anything that we don't
Not
take
all the
seriously.
time, Bird. Not all the time. They come down here a lot. That's where this shit happens, not at the bush.
It really should come down to who's leading the scene. I mean, they kind of orchestrate the whole call. And then if that's their scene, then you'll bring them all up there.
Yeah. I know you're probably doing that mostly, Bird, but people are bringing suspects down here. And what ends up happening is other people involve themselves.
Yeah, I mean, that's the easiest solution. I make sure the Rangers know that if it's not something that's serious, take them to the bush.
I think that's
the best way to solve it.
I think that is a good start.
It keeps everybody out of eyesight, and nobody feels like they're getting fucked.
I try to prioritize that.
Makes sense to me. I think that's actually a really good solution. That's actually a good solution.
Fuck the state's attorney's office. I've been told
Preach!
the new chief justices want to abolish the state's attorney's office.
Yeah!
I thought they had 30 days.
What's that?
They said they'd give them 30 days to correct.
They
got me
changed their
food.
mind
My
now?
metabolism miraculously shot up the last couple of hours.
No, the SAO can go fuck themselves. I had an investigation on Daphne Malone for 2 months. I went to court, made her get found fucking guilty, and then without telling me, they made an appeal. They made a fucking appeal listed me as a witness so I wouldn't be able to see the fucking court charge because it's blocked for me. Then the SAO took the case, took it to court, didn't even tell me it was happening, right? And because the other side called me as a witness, they couldn't bring me in, so she just told me it didn't happen, had no idea what happened, no call, no notification, no nothing, no idea this court was even happening. She got found not guilty of all charges and said that they're going to sue me for false imprisonment. That made me never want to be here again. I could not stand that.
Yeah,
I agree
all
with
those
you.
problematic people are gone, and I think the current
Everybody.
batch is trying to look forward and move on to better things and better way of doing things. So, at the very least, give them that chance to do so.
I'm arresting that SAO person next time I see her. I don't care.
Wait, which one?
The one
With
who
the glasses?
the one who took my case and then did not involve me in it whatsoever. I deem that to
But
be
why arrest her? Why arrest her?
because she took my case, my arrest, my investigation. She took it from me and didn't even communicate it to me once. This is the third time this happened. This happened with Douglas Fielding. This happened with Daphne Malone, and it happened with another person who... Oh, it happened with Vito. It happened with Vito as well. So it happened with 3 different times. The SAO came in, took my case, did not inform me about taking my case, then went to court, made changes, edited charges, made plea deals, did not communicate with me once, and did it completely behind my back, interfering with my investigation and the desired outcome, including changing the prosecution of charges, changing the deals, and changing the investigation to benefit their agenda, which is not aligned with me. Therefore, obstructing my justice in doing it the way that I had originally intended by interfering with an investigation they never had the permission, the approval, or even the want to be involved in. First time, pissed me off. Second time, drive me crazy. Third time, go fuck yourself.
Okay. Well, if you do that, Croc, then I arrest you for government corruption, which is very nicely defined for exactly this, for your own benefit of carrying out justice and utilizing your power as a government official to do so. You see how that works?
I can see the argument.
Yeah. So my point here is bury that fucking dumb shit. And we come here with a positive foot forward, because if we're going to get caught up on all this other old dumb shit from before, we are not going to get anything accomplished. And that's just the truth. I understand doing that stuff is petty. It's territorial. It's Machiavellian. You know, it's dumb. But we gotta set the tone now. And the tone doesn't involve the past.
Understood,
it needs
sir.
to be the future only. So we got to focus on that shit. Cops need to handle this shit, but cops also need to push their fucking court cases.
I agree.
That's another thing. Fred didn't show up for court cases. You didn't show up for court cases. I mean, I got a full list of officers here who just didn't show up to their court cases. And that's another problem. Maybe that's because you're pissed at the DOJ, but we need to show up to our court cases and they need to be expedient.
We do have a workaround now where we have the email that alerts us to docket updates, and I just asked the judges and clerks to make sure they remove officers.
It's on the calendar
from those,
by the way.
Yes.
I made them put it on the calendar.
Perhaps if you skip a court case and you don't have a legitimate reason, you get struck.
I did miss a court case.
No, I told the DOJ if you don't show up, the charges get dropped.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. That should be a summary judgment.
Yeah, Nolly's Cauldron.
But
Hello,
I think that internally we might need to look at discipline if you don't show up to your court cases without a reason.
I mean, it could end up coming back to the state, because they're going to get a not guilty plea or a mistrial, whatever you want to call it. And then because you didn't show up to represent, they come to us and they do a civil case for false imprisonment almost every time. So then we start shelling out a shit ton of money to them.
Yo,
and you don't want these guys. You had a case against them, and now they're making money off us. So it makes us look like idiots.
I completely
agree. The problem is that no one gives a fuck when we lose money. Literally, no one gives a fuck when that happens.
Because we don't need money, sir. Because our cars give it. Because what money are we losing? What? If we go negative, is the lights going to turn off, sir? We're not going to have a job tomorrow? There is no budget. There is no consequence.
Well, what are you petitioning for? What are you petitioning for then?
Well, what I'm trying to say, sir, is there is no fear of losing the money. There is no fear because we still have the guns. We still have the cars. Everyone's still getting a paycheck. Everyone's still got a helicopter to fly. No one has to pay for anything. Everything's $10. People aren't afraid to lose money.
Fees, right?
People aren't afraid to lose money, sir, because Well, if I have $300,000. I haven't spent any of it. I don't need to.
Well, here's the thing, man. Once you start paying them more money and they're enjoying it, and then you start threatening to take it down and threaten to, take it away because their rank is now lower, they're going to start paying attention.
I think there needs to be, if people want to be afraid to lose, sorry to cut you off, Mac, but if people want to be afraid of losing money, there needs to be an actual consequence. Maybe if too many people fuck up, we can't afford to run those nice interceptors. Maybe we lose a chopper. These bills are getting expensive. There needs to be an actual budget. And those who are fucking up the budget, they're going to bring the consequences. You don't want to be... Does anyone here want to be responsible for the guy getting the PD sued and losing the Class 2 interceptors? I fucking don't want to be. But as far as I'm aware, if I get sued, who fucking cares? No one does. There's no consequence. It just gets shoved under the rug like all of the other problems. Some people...
So you want us to have PD maintenance?
Yeah, I think it'll be great.
Okay.
What could possibly go wrong?
That's going to maul Bustin' Cider off the fucking planet, by the way.
That makes it even better.
It's coming from the guy that fucking here twice a week.
If even that.
Look,
by the way, I need to talk to you about after this, Croc.
I've been here once a month. I've been doing really good. Sorry, once a week.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Once a week. Hey, I'm coming around more now.
I'll make Croc show up tonight. That's what I want to know. Why'd you show up tonight?
He's been here.
I've been here all day, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
It just happened to fall on the day.
No, I'm just wondering why he showed up today.
Quite literally.
In general, what went through your mind?
This is literally a coincidence.
I'm coming back today.
I missed being a cop. I missed being here. That was it. I hadn't been here in a while, and I thought I'd taken a little bit of time away. Because look, I'll be honest. I took a small break.
Hasn't seen live from this high up in quite a while.
I took a break from being on duty. I felt like I needed a break, and now I'm back. It's simply nothing more than that. But I'm actually looking to dedicate more time into being, which is why I've been here all day, and I'll probably be here all day tomorrow as well, because I've been neglecting my job.
I hope so, man.
I was just asking.
Great to see you.
I wasn't insinuating anything.
No, I know.
Asking. I was curious what brought you back.
No, it's literally a coincidence. It was just more like, I guess with the Daphne Malone stuff, that pissed me off because there was a lot of people who put in a lot of work in that. We had a full transcript. I actually had to pay someone to sit there and write an hour-long transcript, word for word, letter by letter, for some, and then to go to court for 4 hours, get a guilty verdict. It was beautiful. Just for some random SAO lady I've never met in my life, take the case behind my back and overturn it, and not even have the decency to contact me. When that was the third time in a row.
Those people have long since been removed, so your complaints have been resolved.
But that's when I stopped coming around. So that was a month ago.
I get that, but at the same time, you did not help resolve the situation.
How so?
What the fuck was he going to do to resolve the situation?
Talk to us in command to let us know. I was not aware that was the reason why you stopped coming around.
Well, we had that whole sit down. In case you didn't know, we fucking sat them down at a table and reamed them. It was not like it was. We did what we had to do at that very moment. That's why they're not around anymore.
Oh, I didn't know. So I appreciate
it. It was a ripple effect. Yeah, we see this shit.
Most of command actually was there, and we had a very long meeting with Cole Gordon about it.
Well, was this over the Daphne case?
It was about everything.
It was over several.
It wasn't just you.
Yeah. Because it wasn't just you getting messed up. It was a lot of people.
Yeah, so I'm aware that issue has now been resolved, but to my defense, I did actually come speak to you about a few things. I did speak to you about Colt Gordon. I did speak to you about the veto incident. I did speak to you about a few court issues that we were having. I did speak to you about the Sydney Thod situation that was going on. So I did contact you a few times, and you did what you could in your power, and I respect you for doing that, and I think you did the best that you could. But the solution that we both wanted was not in either of our jurisdictions or within our power to make that change.
He's coming. He's like right behind.
So I did, but after that, I was kind of like, I'm done. And so I fucked off for a bit.
I can see that. Well, everything, let's
but
make
it's
this place
fixed now,
better.
right? It's fixed now, yeah? And that's why...
No, we're almost there.
Still fucked?
DOJ's,
what do you mean it's still fucked?
Well, that's what you're saying. The DOJ wants to rip out the SAO.
Well, we're almost there.
And then we're going to be...
We have a new Chief Justice and 2 Deputy Chief Justice. So...
Yeah, well, look, I see the changes are being made, and that's why, I've started poking my head in. Before I was like a ghost. I didn't be here for 3 weeks. I've started poking my head in a little bit more. And today is my longest shift yet, and I've enjoyed it.
If I may,
go ahead.
If you have to understand though, if cops are going to be representing now, if this is where the direction's going, these guys are going to have to be way more responsible with their time, and that's going to be a problem. And they need to fucking understand, if you are set up for court, they need to be there, or they better sure as hell fucking let them know if they're not going to be there, and get in this routine. Otherwise, we're just going to look like assholes off the block. So we have to get this right away.
I completely agree. I think people who want to push charges and go to court, I don't like it when officers want to go and deny speaking. Let me give you a scenario, right? I don't have a particular name, but I want you to tell me, would you agree or disagree that the culture that I'm about to talk about happens? Guy gets arrested over questionable things. The cops ain't in the wrong. The lawyers ain't necessarily in the wrong. It could go either way. Gets brought down into the cells. Charges pressed. Lawyer comes. Take it to court. Person tries to go to court. Takes 3 weeks. 3 weeks finally go by. Going to court.
Oh yeah,
the cop either A, doesn't show up, or B, is full blown fucking stupid and does not know how a court even works on a small basis. Makes us look stupid. The judge gets pissed. And ultimately, then the criminal has a huge fucking ego for being disrupted for 3 weeks or something they didn't do. And then they forever hate us cops. Do you believe that culture exists, or does it not exist? Because I think it does.
Well, I think we have some created laziness because the SAO is taking a lot of the brunt of the work. So people don't understand like what it even takes anymore because they don't have to go in. They just got to ask a few questions if they're even brought in. So we need a lot of prep, dude. We're going to need a lot of fucking
it's
prep.
a lot of work.
And we're going to need leads to go help people that are doing cases too. We can't just expect a cadet to walk in there and just handle.
Well, devil's advocate, I think we can. I think we should be able to expect cadets. I will never push a charge that I can't argue in front of a court. I got taught this 8 years ago in 2018.
You have so much experience, though.
Yeah, I know, but I learned this from Trooper Copper a long time ago. And it always stuck in my mind.
I miss her.
Yes, good old Trooper Copper. She told me if I can't argue it in front of a judge, I don't push it. If I can't explain it to a judge in simple terms, or even like have a small base of articulation, if I can't explain it, then it don't get pushed. We're not asking for a Cole Gordon level smartass to be able to go and push government corruption and have detailed phone logs. But if the officer can't push joyriding because they can't explain it in front of a judge, I think that's a problem. We're not expecting cadets to go and push graft charges or drug trafficking charges. We don't want that from them, nor should we expect it. But I believe every single cadet should at least be able to go up and articulate possession, joyriding, grand theft auto, bank robbery, speeding. They should be able to go to court and do that on their own without any help, without any assistance. And if they can't do that, then we have a much bigger problem than any of our SOPs.
Oh, no. Well, that's something else. So I want the cops to push all their own shit. So
I agree.
The way we work with the SAO, I think the SAO needs to work as an aid. Like we shouldn't expect the SAO to fully push the fucking case. That shouldn't be happening anymore. The cop should do it with the help of the SAO. And if the cop doesn't feel confident speaking in court, then the SAO should do that. But the SAO should be making sure to dot the I's, cross the T's, and make sure we can prosecute. That's what they should be doing. They shouldn't be telling us whether we can or can't, and they shouldn't be settling our shit. And in fact, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find a civil defense firm to defend the police department from all of these civil claims, because the SAO shouldn't even be doing that. All that does is block up their time, and they're making decisions for us that they shouldn't be making. They should not be settling this shit.
I do agree to an extent. And the part I disagree with is SAO should be helping people who aren't comfortable or aren't very smart at going to court. I think that's ultimately the underlying problem. You want the PD that you're describing, every single cop should have.
I think it comes from the NCOs.
I don't think it's an NCO thing. I think it's just like, take a picture of the plate of someone's car if you want to argue joyriding. It's not that difficult. The PD that you're wanting to describe, I think everyone should be able to have a basic articulation understanding of charges to be in court. It doesn't need to be crazy. It's very base level, very simple. It's just, judge, what are we here for? Here's the picture. This is what he did. It's not a 3-hour court case thing. If that officer can't do that without the SAO, then that makes me seriously question their ability to articulate and find RS versus PC.
Yeah, Croc. And for like little things, I agree with you. Like basic PC and like Tennessee versus Garner. We're talking about just Fourth Amendment case law, all of these types of things, MEMS, all of these different things. People need to know as a cop that is active in city and is prosecuting anyone for any crime. The basic shit.
I agree.
But I'm talking about when we're taking a murder to trial, or we're taking a something that could be on the teeter-totter between a second-degree murder or manslaughter. Like that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Where
then we agree then.
Yeah.
Then yes. When it comes to court charges, yes, as SAO as an assistant, but anything fucking else.
Bench trials, cops should be doing those.
Agreed.
And we should offer those a lot.
We need an active like DOJ that's going to be ready all the time, though.
We
They need
do,
to be
and
ready
they are
on the spot at all times of the day.
No, they
though.
are. They've been
Are they?
around.
I've had
24/7.
I've had a judge talk to me
Okay,
today.
that's great.
I had judges trying to reach out to command today, and he was spamming 311 going, "Why is no one answering the fucking phone?" So there are judges out there
Aristotle
trying.
and Judd are they are acting
Who?
around. So use them.
Judd, who's Judd?
Aristotle?
Kyle.
You don't know.
I don't fucking know.
Kyle.
Listen,
Oh.
whatever.
Judd? Who's Judd? Hey, who's that guy?
Who's
Judd?
Rich coming with Tinker in the room? Okay.
I think you mean Coyote, sir. Coyote. I don't know who this
I don't know who you're
Judd
talking about.
guy
I'm talking
is.
about
We
Judd,
got
the
Kyle
janitor.
back, yep.
Their
Why you
secretary,
mentioned my
Judd.
name? What the fuck?
Listen,
What did I do?
shut the fuck up.
You're being a real Lou right now,
You're
Tinker.
being shut the fuck up, Bird.
This guy meant to lead by
Bird's
example.
upset because I said him and the Rangers were a bunch of Lou's earlier, and he stopped getting upset. He was very upset, and all he does is,
He said Judge
"What
Judd.
the fuck is a Lou?" He went from literally having a roid rage to being like, "What the fuck did you just say?"
What's a Lou? What is that?
Just mid crash out goes, what the
Look it up,
fuck is
Tinker.
a Lou?
You can hear me whispering?
Look it up, Tinker.
Wasn't
Look up what a
crashing.
Lou
I
is.
was just having a
And ain't
heated
a toilet.
discussion.
What is a Lou?
Okay,
It's much better angle.
so these are the
Like a
babies.
skip to
These
my
are
Lou?
started. These are. Yeah, Barry. You skip to your Lou.
My darling.
Yeah. Okay. These things are good, but I think these are the things that we're missing that makes us a police force and makes the DOJ a DOJ and makes a government, right? We are missing the push and the fear of our police force. And this court stuff is one of it, and being quick about court stuff. Also, another big issue we have to talk about, I don't want to bottle a whole bunch of topics at the same time, but we both have the problem. We have some weird shit in our PD, like the fact that people overwrite and overdraw for evidence while still being completely unable to fucking articulate a charge. Can we talk about that? The problem we have right now is people write fucking pages in the MDT, then can't articulate the fucking crime. Not one. They overcomplicate fucking everything.
You're talking about the Bo
Sometimes-
Hillinghead warrant, yes?
No, I'm talking about everything.
Okay.
I'm talking about look at the CG rate. Seriously, go look at them.
Shitter.
Yeah, it was the raid itself from the lane one.
Yep.
Yeah,
Read
I mean,
them.
it was basic as all fuck, and we got through. It didn't need that crazy amount of information because cop guns went missing. So why the hell you got them?
Oh, all the stuff is off.
VCB. I heard of VCB.
Oh, someone deleted everything.
It was
What's the case number?
It was the Russians. It was the goddamn Russians. I knew they were invading us. Does anyone know who
The warrant? Colt, you got to flip to page 17.
Wait, Boris is around? Croc,
No.
you seen the bear?
No, it's a guy called Explode Scion. Anyone know?
Okay, I found the right one now.
Explode Scion.
So this one, right? So the judges approved this warrant, and if you read it, wait, where are the weapons that were on this last night? They gone?
There's two warrants. Which are you?
Do I
looking
make
at
a
the
judge
one that's,
character, chat?
Palmetto Ave 1.
Judge Croc.
It's new warrant. It's on warehouse number 2.
Yeah, so you're on the second warrant. You want to look at
Yes.
go back, same page 17. It should be the higher one. That's by Jackson.
Okay. Counter argument.
They're both named New Warrant.
Do
I don't
you
know why I
expect
couldn't
me
name
to sit there for a 4-hour long important court case, me to remember every single detail
Also, you
and
should
not
name our
fucking up?
fucking warrants, by the way.
I don't know. He's like the only one
Okay.
that's ever done that.
So I want you to go here, right? We have not articulated the drugs or anything on this warrant. All we have articulated is that we have suspicion that these guns are missing.
Judge GPT.
Yes?
Honestly, this one's weird because this is after we've retrieved the guns and then he broke out of the hospital. And somehow they're like, okay, well, you found guns, go raid them.
Take the serial number and search.
I'm smarter than most? Chat, did someone
It's
just
for PD
admit
weapon
I'm smart?
retrieval on 2 weapons that were already in our possession since the 22nd of September.
Wait, so this raid was faulty then?
Yeah, the raid is fucking washed. Absolutely. If you actually read it, it's washed.
So what? So I don't understand anything about this raid. I know no knowledge of it, right? But other than seeing that they raided successfully, you're telling me that the point of the raid was to go and search for weapons that were already in
For
possession?
these PD weapons it literally says the purpose of the search warrant is seize illegal firearms, including police issue firearms and equipment, illegal substance, drug paraphernalia, equipment used to manufacture drugs, loose cash, including bands, rolls, and folded cash from the person's property and vehicles. We have not articulated that there was ongoing possession of any drugs, and the only drugs taken after Mr. Kebun was 8 meth, 14 joints, and 6 cocaine. This is like very normal. None of this screams trafficking, right? Or potential further trafficking. There's no like trend. There's not multiple arrests that are articulated here. Then we have 2 government firearms, only 2, not a pattern that is spelled out in this warrant, right? Through multiple cases or anything like that. And then both of these were already retrieved on the 22nd. So the problem then we get into is by the way that the policy in PD developed is that you guys are just going after anyone who takes a rifle and pistol. We're not then doing our due diligence of, did we get this rifle or pistol already? And if we want to go after more rifles and pistols, what we need to do and what the DOJ needs to make us do as well is they need to make us say they have raw PD equipment.
Give me 2 hours,
this
Jim,
state, this
and we'll
state,
do it.
this state, this state. We have reason to believe and can articulate that they may have a ton more guns, which if you go back and look, we could have made that
like
articulation.
breaking out.
That could have been done. Does that
Jimmy,
make sense?
you should make a
You have to
cop and
articulate that
join
there's
me.
more there that we're
Come
going
make a
after
cop.
something. The whole purpose of
I'd
a
love to see
warrant
you make a cop,
is to
man.
go after suspected crimes taking place. But does that make sense what I'm trying to say here?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you need to develop the pattern, but we also need to document when we lose it. And
we got Jimmy and Kick, and we got Star on Twitch.
Yeah.
But that's a
Tinker.
report
So-
everyone's got to do every time we lose it.
So they shouldn't be. This should have been half the size. I would have wrote this half the size. I would have said, Mr. K.
It's called
was
Prodigy
arrested
Roleplay
for
out.
this reason.
One the whitelist.
He
server.
escaped. He
Sorry,
had
the allowed
this,
list
this, and
server.
this. But on multiple other occasions, he had multiple PD equipment that he's stolen from officers on this date, this date, this date, this date. We want to raid his properties. And this
I
is
don't
why.
think I can get any new cops, but I'll see
That's
what I
what
can
we
So
do.
just go off of what we retrieved, and then it's like, stop taking our shit. We're kicking your door in. Kind of idea.
Need to build the articulation of the case better. Like this, the way that this one
Yeah,
was
I agree.
articulated, it was we got the evidence that we're rating for, which makes no sense. We're missing the
Who approved this
additional
warrant?
why.
It was Vince Gibson.
Who?
And it was created by a judge, Vince Gibson. He's been around for like the last 4 months. I guess he was away for LOA for a little bit. But Jax is the one who wrote. And Jax did it because of the tone shift that was set here, I guess, last week, right? Whenever guys came and said we need to be more on top of shit. But you got to be on top of shit in the right way, you know? We got to move fast on things to happen. Like these guys, if you go look, like they're tied up in multiple murder investigations, you know, like that's the stuff. That's where we would have got our value. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I do feel that. Look, I've submitted a few warrants before, and I have noticed that a lot of my warrants that I'm kind of like pushing my luck on some of these warrants, and every single time I push my luck and I expect a denial, I'll be absolutely shocked to see that my raids have been approved. Even if I'm reaching. Like, I will be honest, there have been some raids where I have been reaching quite a fair bit. Like, I ain't lying on them, but I'm kind of pulling some shit out of my ass, and I'm seeing it get approved when I'm like kind of grasping for straws. And I'm absolutely dumbfounded that some of my own warrants are getting approved.
I think knowing that, we have to then self-police on going too far on our warrants for a bit until we know DOJ is going to regulate us. Because if not, we're going to keep getting these situations. They're going to approve a warrant. And
I do still play on NoPixel, dude. Just not right now.
After, and then we're going to waste all our time because then in the court, they're going to argue PC. Then they're going to win.
Is this Costa?
And we have false imprisonment and all this other shit. The problem here is we overcomplicate on all of these things. All of them. Read any of these investigation files. We need to get people back to jot notes. Jot notes. What's the PC? The end.
I agree, sir. Completely. And so I just wanted to say, before I head back out there, thank you for being here, and thank you for continuously attempting to make this PD better. Your presence has been missed, and I'm excited to see you more actively here in this police department, sir. That hasn't been told to you already.
Thank you, Croc. Your lips have been missed around my butthole.
I'm never giving a compliment to a fucking coworker ever again.